Hello wonderful person, this is Anton, and today we're finally going to discuss the Artemis 2 mission. A mission that's currently, when I'm making this video, is making history because for the first time in the last 50 years, humans have finally returned in the vicinity of the moon. And while there's already been quite a lot of media coverage that many of you have already probably watched, in this video we're mostly going to focus on some of the details and some of the facts, and actually some unusual facts, that have not been widely discussed and that most of you might not know about. In other words, let's discuss the Artemis 2 from a slightly different scientific perspective. But first, just some basics, just so that we're all on the same page. And well, as you probably know, this launched on April 1st, 2026. And though this could have been the most expensive April Fool's joke in history, it turned out to be real. And just like with the Apollo missions, this is a 10-day mission using the Space Launch System and the newly designed Orion spacecraft to basically test it and to determine how it performs later on when we do at some point land on the moon and hopefully establish a colony. Here's what this Orion spacecraft looks like, and this is basically where the 4 astronauts currently reside. But as you probably know, this is not a landing mission, and instead is a kind of a flight test. And specifically, it's actually going to be doing something like this. It's basically going to pass by the moon, go behind it, and then return back to Earth. So the spacecraft here is following a kind of a free return trajectory. Intriguingly, because of this, it doesn't actually have to fire its engines anymore, and it's basically going to return back to Earth because of the Earth's natural gravity. And here this mission is significant because it marks several firsts. And for me, as a Canadian, this is obviously a really important mission, because this also is the first time ever a Canadian actually got to reach the moon and travel beyond the low Earth orbit. But apart from this, this mission has already broken a very important record. The record for the farthest humans have ever traveled away from planet Earth. In other words, right here we have a picture of the Artemis 2 mission at the farthest point away from the planet, beating the previous record set by the Apollo 13 mission. This was actually during the emergency loop around the moon back in 1970. And so here the Artemis 2 has now officially reached the distance of 406,773 kilometers or 252,000 miles away from the planet, approximately 6,000 kilometers farther than before. So essentially it was somewhere at this point.